High Court in Abuja has barred the Central Bank of Nigeria from disbursing further monthly allocations to the Rivers State government, citing alleged constitutional violations by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. In her ruling, Justice Joyce Abdul Malik found that Governor Fubara's presentation of the 2024 budget to a four-member House of Assembly breached constitutional protocol. Justice Abdul Malik highlighted that since January, Rivers State has received and spent allocations based on an illegitimate budget, describing this as a constitutional aberration.
The court further restricts the CBN, the Accountant General of the Federation, and the state accounts at Zenith Bank and Access Bank from releasing any funds to Fubara. Well, joining us now is the President General of the Initiative for Transparent Strategy and Good Leadership, Chizy, Enyi, Esquire, and he will be discussing the implications of stopping federal allocations to the state. Welcome to Newsday. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Nigerian people, for having me today.
Chizy, so what could be the implications of the stoppage of these federal allocations? What do you think could come of this?
Yeah, just like the former governor and the present minister for FCT, Nyesom Wike, have said, he may not succeed in the fight against Rivers people and the governor of Rivers State, but he will succeed in frustrating all the efforts to make Rivers State move forward. Now, for the judgment to stop Rivers State allocation, I don't understand that any reasonable judge would have given that judgment. However, to Nyesom Wike, what matters to him is the rule of might, and to him there is nothing like the rule of law. Backdating from when he became the first-time chairman of Obi Akpo local government, he never participated in the election, but he was declared by the same court that he was the chairman of Obi Akpo. Thereafter, by 2013, he made Felix Obua, Ibibia Water, and others escorts of PDP in Rivers State. Those that never even bought form for the Congress. They never participated in the Congress, but he succeeded using the then president and the then former first lady, Mrs. Jonathan, and her husband. The presidential fiat he's still using now was what made it possible for him. And for Nyesom Wike, what matters is the rule of might. Having succeeded in making Felix Obua and others the state escort at the state level, come down to the local government, he succeeded in appointing people as the chairman and other escorts, and at the ward level, those who never bought form and never participated in the congresses. So to Nyesom Wike, he believed that anything he wants, he can get it, particularly through the judiciary and also the government he is in. When he was minister, he frustrated all attempts of the then Right Honorable Chief Rotimi Amaechi, who was the then governor. And now he's a minister. He's also doing the same thing to the Governor Sim Fubara. He even said publicly that he's not even sure that Fubara will be on the seat till 2027. And this is a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria saying this type of thing. And the president kept deaf ears to it and allowed him. Now, what is the issue? The issue about the budget presentation and non-presentation. If Fubara would now go to represent the budget to the Martin Amehule-led assembly. Now, the matter before the Supreme Court, what will the Supreme Court say? It then means that the judgment has been executed and the matter before the Supreme Court will die silently. And this is also a matter that is subject of appeal before the Supreme Court of the Federation. And now you are telling him to represent budget. Or if not that, he should not assess the allocation. Now, if you're saying that, it then means you are executing the judgment of the Court of Appeal. So the essence of the appeal at the Supreme Court is being defeated. So that is what we are facing in Rivers State. And how can one man's interest be supervening every time, every day? Because he feels that the rule of law, however you get what you want, is what matters to him, and nothing more, nothing less. That's the problem we are facing in Rivers State. If the allocation should be stopped, what it means is that all the civil servants, the pensioners, contracts going on, everything should be stopped because of one man. What is the problem? The problem, Fubara just said the other day that he wants to control the resources of the state. And before now, the Governor Fubara has been asking, what is my offense? What is my offense? And Rivers people have not gotten any answer. The only answer we have gotten now is that recently the court has given judgment Even when the lawyers before the court said, please, this matter is subject of appeal at the Court of Appeal, stop proceedings, the man refused. This matter, those that will be affected we also want to join, the man refused. Okay, we want to change counsel, the judge refused. What really is the problem? Should we die in silence because Nyesom Wike is the Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria? The same power he used against Amechi as he was then the Minister for Education State. Now he's using it against Governor Sam Fubara. The problem in Rivers State is that Nyesom Wike feels that with the rule of might, he can get everything. He got it through the court to emerge as Obiakpo chairman. He also got it to enthrone Felix Obua, Ibibia Water and others as party escorts in Rivers State, those who never bought form. And River and Nigerian people were silent. Today is affecting everybody because whether you like it or not, even the resource that they are talking about, the allocation you are sharing, Rivers State contributes more than 57% of it. And you're saying they should keep it behind. Rivers State should go behind because of one man. And the next thing is that you bring one man who has defected from PDP to APC, and everybody was on the know. It was everywhere. Even the current zonal vice chairman of APC was also in celebration with them. In a national television, he said it, that he's here with his brothers, Martin Zamegula and others, who has just defected. And the same people who appeared before Mr. President. My worry is that these people have made the office of the president to become a thing that no international community will give credence to it. How did it happen? The same people went to Mr. President to say they have defected from PDP to APC. The same people, the Mr. President took them into confidence and brought them before the said proclamation they had, wherein they had some discussions and the decisions were arrived at. What was those things? That withdrawing impeachment, allow them to function. These people are now APC members. Don't deal with them and all that stuff. After all this that was televised on national television, these same people has come back to say they never defected, that what people saw was just a Maserati. It's a shame that Mr. President is allowing Nyesom Wike to do all these things to Rivers and Nigerian people. And it will never be well with Nyesom Wike if he will continue to stagnate and frustrate Rivers people because he wants to control the resources, which the present governor have just said. Now, when Nyesom Wike was governor, what was the allocation? What was internally generated he was declaring? 7 million, 10 million, thereabout. And immediately he had issues with Governor Fubara. Governor Fubara was able to declare allocation, internal generated revenue ranging up to 27 million, and now I'm sure it's about 27 billion, and now it's about 30 something.
For the sake of time, I really need to interrupt you. In the first instance, I would like you, to be a bit calm. No harsh words or no slanderous words, on national television. But then I'm just wondering, what this all says about the judiciary in Nigeria with all the conflicting court judgments. Should the appeal court even be ruling on a matter that is before the Supreme Court? How do we sanitize the legal system in the country?
That is the problem with us. That is why I said it earlier, that on Nyesom Wike, there is no rule of law. What is available is the rule of might. So you get what you want, having paid money.
How do we sanitize the system if this is what is happening, as you claim? How do we curb this?
We should sanitize the system by Mr. President starting from sacking Nyesom Wike, from frustrating the efforts of Rivers people. And all the judges who have made this possible for Nyesom Wike should be called to question. They should be disciplined, for Christ's sake. How can a lawyer bring an application before a judge that, look, me lord, this matter is pending on appeal. Please stay proceedings, and the judge will overrule him without recourse to whether or not the lawyer was saying the truth. And then even the matter before them, there is no urgency as to it. What's the urgency about stopping Rivers State from its allocation? What is the urgency? That the matter will be filed today, next 2-3 days the judge has had it, and the next 3-4 days the judge has given judgment. And there are other pending matters of the same issue that has been lingering there for over 5, 6, 7 years. Why is Rivers State the issue? Now, all matters concerning Rivers State will now be pending in Federal High Court Abuja. Of what essence is that? Don't we have Federal High Court here in Rivers State? Why? Rivers people are asking, why? Why should we die because Nyesom Wike is the minister? It's very unfortunate that we are suffering this thing and Mr. President is allowing it to be. He is the same man who called them to a roundtable discussion and said, allow this to be, allow peace, I am the president, I don't want problem in Rivers State. So if you stop the allocation in Rivers State, you think Rivers people will be quiet? You think Rivers people should die in silence? You think Rivers people should die of hunger? That won't have money to feed? And yet the allocation, even the allocation you want to share, these resources is about 57% of it emanates from Rivers State, and you want to share it, and you want to deny Rivers people of the allocation. It will never happen in Rivers State.
What could be the consequences or the risks if Governor Fubara represents this budget? Is it something that would weaken the executive branch's authority?
Now, who are these people you are representing this budget to? Those we consider to be former assembly members. They have defected. Now, if Governor Fubara goes to represent this budget, it then means he has given judgment on his own. Now, the matter before the Supreme Court will not be a nullity, for Christ's sake. Why executing judgment at the lower level when the matter is subject of appeal? Now, you execute judgment, you apply for execution order when you know that there is no basis for appeal again. Now, the matter has been appealed. The issue of budget presentation has been appealed. And now you want to come and execute it. So what would the Supreme Court say? What if the Supreme Court said that the judgment of the Court of Appeal is of no effect, upholding the presentation of the budget to the Edison-led ESCO? Now, having presented it to the Martins Amewule-led ESCO, what would then happen? It's very unfortunate that we are suffering this fate because of one man.
No, but I'm sure you recall that earlier a judge ruled that Governor Sim Fubara shot himself in the foot, by withdrawing a counter affidavit challenging the validity of the Amewule-led lawmakers, even after they had defected. So it seems there's a bit of confusion and a bit of cherry picking on which of the court orders to actually obey. What exactly does this say about the political class in Nigeria? Do we have is it right to be cherry picking the court orders to obey?
Now, if Governor Fubara withdrew his application based on the presidential proclamation, what has the president done to those who have disobeyed his order? That is one. Two, those who Governor Fubara or those who went to court to say they should present budget to them that are not assembly members. Now, assuming me, Barrister Chizy, and few others goes to court to say, Fubara, come and present budget to us, and Fubara filed a counter affidavit and later withdrew it, and the court, based on what we said, give judgment, does it mean we are assembly members? Does that give validity to the fact that we are assembly members? Based on the affidavit of Martins Amewule and others that they have defected from APC to PDP, which means their seat has been declared vacant. This same affidavit was exhibited in the documents that the lawyers entitled to rely on at the Court of Appeal. And yet the Court of Appeal didn't deem it necessary to look at those documents. Of what evidential value is it even that they will look at the fact that the governor withdrew his counter affidavit? Of what essence is it? Does it give validity to Martins Amewule and others? And now let me even tell Nigerians that the order Martins Amewule and others were relying on to say that INEC should not conduct election. The court processes have been struck out because they withdrew the application and the matter has been struck out. And why is it that INEC has even refused to conduct election in those vacant positions? Must court pronounce? Because even the Constitution didn't even talk much about court pronouncement. It says that their seat automatically becomes vacant. So why won't INEC will conduct election on the basis that the matter has been struck out based on the fact that Martins Amewule and others knew that truly they have defected and their seats were vacant, and then they have withdrew the application. So when Rivers people are calling for INEC to conduct election and fill in these vacant positions, that is just the only thing remaining in Rivers State. And nobody should advise Governor Sim Fubara to even represent budget when the matter is still pending on Supreme Court. And even at that, even though the matter in Supreme Court has been, judgment has been entered, did that even validate the fact that Martins Amewule and others are still assembly members? That matter is still pending at the Federal Court here in Port Harcourt. The validity of Martins Amewule as members of River State House of Assembly and 26 others are still pending before the court. That's not even the matter before the Supreme Court. What is before the Supreme Court is an issue of budget presentation and no budget presentation.
And we will continue to watch as this situation unfolds. We'd like to thank you for joining us this afternoon, the President General of the Initiative for Transparent Leadership, Chizy Enyi. Thank you for joining us here on Newsday.